Crown Studios, makers of commercials, corporate programs and television events, is proud to present the following program. Now, please sit back and enjoy Expo Magic.
It began as a Queensland dream to stage a 6-month-long celebration that would be the crowning highlight of Australia's bicentenary. To nominate Brisbane as host city for World Expo 88. There were plenty of pessimists, doubts that Brisbane, a laid-back city of barely 1 million people, could succeed where other greater and more sophisticated metropolises had failed. But there was one thing the skeptics had overlooked, something that Queenslanders carried in their hearts, a quality that was recognised by the Bureau of International Expositions. Expo would succeed because of the Queensland spirit. By April 30th, 1988, we were ready to show the world. Brisbane had met the first part of the challenge that many hadn't dared to accept. The real test lay ahead. Could we keep the party going for 6 long months?
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big countdown from 10? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Emotions were supercharged on opening day. None of us could have guessed what was in store as the world came together in celebration under those soaring sun sails. The Queensland spirit was transformed into the Expo spirit, and we could barely contain it when Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh took centre stage for the official opening ceremonies.
It gives me great pleasure to be here in Brisbane and to open a major international exhibition and a highlight of Australia's bicentennial calendar. I congratulate those who had the vision to conceive this second World Exposition in Australia, and those whose dedication and talent went into its organization, planning, and setting up. I now declare World Expo 88 well and truly open.
Even the most hard-boiled critic couldn't have remained untouched by the Expo's spirit on that magical day. Wherever you went, it was in the air. People ate and drank, queued for pavilions, soaked up the entertainment, and devoured the sights and sounds of a new experience. Sundown was just the signal for Expo to shift into overdrive. The day couldn't wind up any other way. The fireworks and laser show was like a collective last gasp, a final burst of enthusiasm to cap a day never to be forgotten. As the skies over Brisbane lit up, we knew we'd made a great start, that the seeds of success had been sown. But even in those euphoric moments of pride and optimism, nobody could have guessed that World Expo 88 would power on to more than double the best attendance predictions, and that it would succeed beyond our wildest dreams, to take its place in history as one of the most successful World Expositions ever. What was it that made Expo the center of so many people's lives and generated a lifetime of precious memories? You can't identify it in neat terms. There's no simple definition. Everyone found something special about it, And maybe by reliving some of those special things, we can come a little closer to an answer. The national and corporate pavilions were the heart of Expo. They reflected the Expo 88 theme of leisure in the age of technology. But they were more than that. They opened windows to the world, showing us a glimpse of one another's lives, broadening our horizons, opening our minds. We each have our favorites, and by touching upon a few here, perhaps we can bring the individual memories flooding back. The Queensland Pavilion was always certain to be an emotional favourite, but as it turned out, our pavilion won a lot of fans on its own merits. The pavilion's people mover was enormously successful, carrying visitors on a spectacular ride through 8 theatres, showing Queensland from the city to the reef.
Welcome to the Great Barrier Reef.
The rainforests, the beaches, and the typical country pub, all from a humorous perspective.
I've mustered more head of cattle a day than what you've had on dinner.
Add to that the spectacle of the monorail gliding through a luxuriant Queensland rainforest, and you have some good reasons why it was more than just host city favoritism that had people standing in line. The Swiss were also in the people-moving business in more ways than one. People keen to get off the ground, in the literal sense, made for big lineups at the Switzerland Pavilion's chairlift. The greatest attraction for the more adventurous souls lay in the ski slope. Would-be powder hounds could put themselves to the test, and styles varied from the oh-so-pro to get down as best you can. Mostly, the Switzerland Pavilion meant fun, and that's what kept people coming back for more. Judging by the crowds at the USSR Pavilion, it seems like a lot of people were eager to get a look behind the legendary Iron Curtain. Nobody was disappointed either. It was all smiles from the Russian pavilion staff, coupled with a great deal of pride and eagerness to show something of their country and their culture. The USSR had filled their pavilion with a complete cross-section of interests. Traditional crafts were demonstrated alongside the personal creative works of leading Russian scientists. Priceless religious artifacts reflected the nation's Orthodox faith in stark contrast to a futuristically abstract impression of the human biosystem. Revolutionary surgical procedures were revealed that gave us startling insight into Russia's medical prowess. Finally, a panorama of leisure, sport, and high technology. World Expo 88 created many firsts, not least of all being the first expo in which the Vatican had participated in its own right. The Pavilion of the Holy See was more than a place of pilgrimage for the faithful. The collection of fabulous treasures, artworks, artifacts, and vestments was little short of awe-inspiring. 300 individual pieces had been assembled, many being displayed publicly for the first time. To walk through the dramatically dark halls of the pavilion and catch the gleam of gold, silver, and precious stones was an experience that compelled many people to repeat visits. Expo invited people to join in. And for those of us who'd like to pick up the invitation, the USA, more than any other pavilion, gave us the chance to get into a hands-on situation. The baseball speed test caught everyone's imagination and produced some very interesting techniques as people strained to match the dizzy speeds of American League heroes. Elsewhere in the USA Pavilion, potential Greg Normans were given the chance to demonstrate their prowess. Rowers could go up against the machine, and the less athletically inclined could just sit back and relax. The popularity of the USA Pavilion quickly grew, and so did the queues. But waiting to get in was made a lot easier as pavilion visitors were treated to displays of athletic agility, American style. At the China Pavilion, the lines of people wound like a dragon from way down the expo site, through the traditional arches and into the wonders of ancient China. The superb examples of Chinese art that unfolded inside the pavilion were enough to loosen the tightest purse strings, and many China Pavilion visitors took away mementos to accompany the memories of their Expo visit to China. The greatest attraction of the Japan Pavilion was its startling contrast. Probably a reflection of Japan itself, the pavilion managed to combine technology with tradition. There was a dramatic introduction to this theme right at the entrance. A pair of industrial robots, normally accustomed to performing infinitely precise mechanical tasks, had been transformed as the leading performers of the traditional shishi-mai. Inside, there was something for everyone. People stood 10 deep to catch a glimpse of a walk through ancient Japan with the expert guidance of a video-projected tour guide.
2 weeks to walk there. This is the get-up we wear on the pilgrimage, kekko, chaha. These rice straw sandals are waraji. This is a yatate, and it's got ink and a brush in it.
Nothing was overlooked, including a futuristic message of peace and goodwill. Outside the pavilion, the traditional Japanese garden became a welcome refuge for expo goers beginning to experience technology overload. By the size of the queues at the New Zealand pavilion, you'd have thought they were giving away gold.
They reckon New Zealand's good. I'm going to find out for myself.
I've been to New Zealand and I think it's absolutely fabulous, and we just want to revisit it all again.
You know, I've done 32 so far and I've come back 4 times, so there's haven't got in yet. So I'm not getting off now, but it's 2 hours. Blow that for a joke.
Wandering through the giant kauri forest was pure bliss. Birdsong blended with the music of waterfalls, and sunlight filtered through giant ferns to create one of Expo's simplest pleasures. If the New Zealanders had contributed nothing else, the kauri forest alone would have won them a lot of friends. It was pretty obvious that the people from the 7 island nations of the South Pacific village were at Expo to enjoy themselves. The feeling was quickly picked up by everyone who crowded in to catch the performances. Besides that, the village itself was an oasis of green coolness. Palm trees, exotic ferns, waterfalls, thatched huts, and the music of the South Seas were balm to people who were expoed out. Strolling around gave you the chance to watch traditional craftspeople at work, or to simply take in the many excellent examples on display. By night, The flare of torches reflected in the lagoon, the soft rustle of palm trees, and the captivating rhythm of the islands drew people irresistibly to the village. For the staff of television station Brisbane 10, it was business almost as usual at Expo. To run a fully operational newsroom and studio facility in full view of the public was no mean feat, but they did it. For the public, accustomed to seeing only the end result on their screens, the Brisbane 10 studios gave the chance to peek behind the scenes, and every news broadcast from the official Expo television station played to a full house.
I like it. Prost! Prost, alle miteinander! Prost! What do you say?
For a lot of us, World Expo 88 was a case of eat, drink and be merry, for tomorrow we diet. Tramping up and down the 40-hectare site produced some very healthy appetites and some mighty thirsts, so it's not surprising that Expo's many and varied eateries did a roaring trade. In the Munich Festhaus, the band umparred up a storm, and down in the audience it was a sea of sauerkraut, steins and song. Over 1 million litres of beer went down parched throats and probably went a long way to producing the boisterously good-humoured atmosphere. Not to be outdone, the Britannia Inn turned on the celebrations in the best traditions of the true English pub. Inside, it was a slice of pure England, and even outside in the warm Queensland sunshine, the atmosphere was still there.
There's no other girl I would wait for, but this one I break any date for. She won't have to.
We developed a real taste for pork pies, fish and chips, and roast beef with Yorkshire pud, not to mention the odd pint of best bitter or dark, creamy Guinness. In other words, the best of British.
Can understand why I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street. In case a certain little lady comes by.
Down on the boardwalk was one of the most popular spots to eat at Expo. To start with, the surroundings were pretty hard to beat. It was typical Queensland outdoor eating and drinking in a $1 million location right on the river under clear sunny skies. And the food? Everything from pies to pasta. Hot and spicy to plain and simple. At night there was a glorious blanket of stars and the city lights shimmering across the water. With the Kookaburra Queen on the river, you had a choice of eating afloat in grand riverboat style or just doing it easy ashore. We couldn't have shown the world a better example of the Queensland lifestyle. The boardwalk was one of Expo's greatest success stories, and it's no wonder the Brisbane people want to see it become a permanent part of the city's South Bank. Waterside eating venues always get the customers in. If you need further proof at Expo, you only had to take a walk around the shores of the Pacific Village Lagoon. No less than 3 restaurants used the location to great advantage. You could literally do a cook's tour of tastes here, working your way through Japanese, New Zealand and Polynesian cuisines. If the waistline could stand it, this was the place to eat. Expo 88 must go down in history as Australia's greatest eating and drinking spree. There wasn't a taste not catered for. Asian food buffs got into curries, satay and samosas. There were pies and hot dogs, peanuts, hamburgers, ice creams, and an ocean of drinks, soft and hard. You could travel the length of Expo from the Fest House to the beautifully restored Ship Inn, with a lot of interesting stops in between, and never drink the same beer twice. No wonder somebody dubbed this the biggest party ever to hit town. $48 million buys a lot of entertainment. It had to, because the Expo organizers were determined to keep world-class acts coming from beginning to end. The River Stage was the venue for the megastars of entertainment. When the big acts came into Expo, you couldn't squeeze another body onto the AstroTurf Amphitheatre.
Watching people, I'm watching town go down. Broadway's in Riverton.
apart from the river stage, there was plenty happening elsewhere. In fact, the real genius of Expo entertainment was the stream of street performers who generated instant audiences or relieved the long waits in the queues outside the pavilions. A lot of Expo trippers voted them the real hits of the entertainment program.
No cameras, please. No camera. Thumbs up.
Okay, everybody, right back out of here. Come on. Right back. Nothing to look at here, buddy. Come on.
We got nothing to say, sir. We got nothing to say. It's a no-comment situation. Please, get back. Thank you so much.
The aquacade pulled the crowds without fail. People claimed a seat, even if it was a little damp, well in advance of each performance. And did it from day one right till the end. Some of the pavilions staged excellent shows of their own. The Russians surprised everyone with a very up-to-the-minute parade of fashions, fresh from the USSR. For more traditional tastes, the Korean Dance Theatre provided a feast of color and movement. Performances were packed to capacity, and if you wanted a seat for any of the shows, you had to get your ticket pretty early in the day. The old saying, everyone loves a parade, picked up new meaning at Expo. The parades were not to be missed, especially the night parade. If you hadn't occupied a slice of sidewalk by about 6 p.m., there was no way you'd have a front row seat when the magic happened at 6:30 p.m. World Expo Park, it was a thrill a minute. A lot of the thrills weren't for the faint-hearted though, and if you could measure pleasure by the volume of screams, then the park riders were having the time of their lives. Like all expos, or any large event, it's the people factor that spells the difference between success and flop. World Expo 88 started with a bang and never looked back. As the weeks rolled by into months, it was pretty obvious that the projected attendance figure of 8 million visitors, considered overly optimistic in some quarters, was going to turn out to be the understatement of all time. The only question was by just how much would that figure be exceeded. Day after day, people invaded the expo site. They packed the entrances, waiting for the clock to hit 10 a.m. And when the gates opened, people actually ran to get to favorite pavilions ahead of the rush. Many planned their visits like a military campaign, systematically working their way through the day's target group of pavilions. Others just took it as it came, content to go with the flow and seize whatever opportunity or experience presented itself, while some became hooked on specific pavilions, events, or attractions. Getting to Expo was an adventure in itself with a choice of ferries, buses, cars, trains, chopper, taxis, pedicab, good old Shanksy's pony. A stroll across Victoria Bridge from Brisbane City Heart was a pleasant prelude to Expo. Or maybe it could have been considered a good training warm-up for a day's hiking around the site, with just the occasional monorail ride to ease the wear and tear on the feet. You couldn't single out any predominant group amongst the crowd. Expo became truly cosmopolitan, a global village where the rich accents of every imaginable nation mingled to form a single voice of friendship and warmth. We learned a lot from Expo. We learned to bridge the gaps of age, gender and race without trauma, without conditions. The friendships that were born so easily might endure for a lifetime or be a thing of the moment. But they have no less meaning either way. Somehow, stepping through those turnstiles, we managed to throw off our inhibitions, to look past the often narrow confines of our daily lives and philosophies, to discover that there are more things that bind us together than separate us, to understand that the Expo spirit can be a force that lives beyond October 30th, 1988. The days were running out, and the final surge of visitors began to push the attendance figures off the clock. By the time the turnstiles clicked over for the last time, we'd have had attendance figures that would exceed the entire population of Australia. We showed the world in no uncertain terms.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, madame and monsieur. G'day, fellow workers. My name is Mike Williams, your compere for this very special night. Gentlemen, ladies, if you'd be seated. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the chairman of World Expo, the Honourable Sir Llewellyn Edward.
Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Premier, my Lord Mayor, Ministers, Sir Edward Williams, Dr. Delario, Your Excellencies, Madame Dufresne, Commissioners General, Commissioners and ladies and gentlemen. In just 1 hour, World Expo 88 will be closed. The hard work of so many of you have given over such a long period of time has now been completed. The excitement and fun experienced by our visitors will soon become a wonderful memory. Together, we have staged one of the most successful expositions in history. And this success has been brought about by a remarkable commitment and cooperation by many people, and I want to take a moment to thank them. We pay tribute to our international participants who have spent millions of dollars to produce the high standard of pavilions which our visitors have enjoyed so much. To the states and territories, and the states and provinces and prefectures of other countries, I must say we have been very grateful for your involvement, and I wish you many long-term benefits from the marvellous role that you have played in World Expo 88. I also pay tribute to the corporate sector for their support, for the pavilions provided, and for the substantial financial involvement. Our merchandising outlets and the food and beverage outlets have all undertaken their responsibilities with outstanding commitment by providing a wonderful service to millions of people. I must also express gratitude to the trade union movement for their cooperation for World Expo 88. I would like to thank the 3 levels of government for their support and encouragement. I'd like to also thank the media for their understanding and commitment to us. They have become part of the family of Expo and have been fair and just in their reporting of this exposition, and we thank them for this. I'd like to also thank Sir Edward Williams and his staff for their cooperation and assistance. Mr. Premier and Mr. Prime Minister, I now turn to the staff of Expo. What a wonderful group of people you have been. Firstly, the volunteers. The volunteers have made an outstanding contribution to World Expo 88. We appreciate that commitment. and the enormous support ranging from the group organised by Fran and Mari at Expo House to the host and hostesses organised by Judy Chappell and the on-site volunteers organised by the Lorraine Martin organisation. I also pay tribute to the thousands of honorary ambassadors who've worked so hard for us promoting this great event throughout the world. You too have been magnificent. Secondly, the staff on site, the Skyride team, the cleaners, the security people, the attendants, the maintenance people, and many others who have worked so hard to bring to fruition the dreams of those who planned this great event. It's now time for World Expo to come to an end. 184 days have come and gone quickly, and together we have given the world pleasure, education, celebration and fun. We have made people smile, and we have made this the happiest place on earth in 1988. And now, as we share the closing ceremony of World Expo 88, and the sun fades on this magnificent site, and the lights go out for the last time, it is my fervent hope that the spirit of Expo 88 will never fade, and we must make sure that special things that we have enjoyed through this exposition become part of our daily lives from now on. I thank you for all that has been done. It has been a privilege to work with you, and as we part and say goodbye to the many wonderful friends that we have worked with and we have made, I'm sure that there'll always be a little corner in your hearts which is World Expo 88. I know there will be in mine. Thank you for all of your contribution, and may the light of World Expo 88 never fade.
Ladies and gentlemen, salute our guys. I know that all the staff here at Expo have worked very hard these last 6 months or longer, and may not have had a chance to catch up with some of the fantastic local and overseas performers that have performed in front of literally millions of people here at World Expo 88. So to give you just a quick glimpse of what you've missed, it gives us great pleasure now to present to you some of those performers from the Piazza, Amphitheatre, walkways, parades, aquacade, a very special night indeed. Let's hear it for them, folks.
Tonight there will be no morning star. Tonight, I'll see my love tonight, and for us stars will stop where they are.
can tell. Just you wait, that lucky star we talk about it too. Honey, everything's coming up roses. Woo! It's snowing. And here's Zoe, legs on the wall. Roger G, assorted mind. Mr. Beefy, Des Rogers, Andy Buddies. The gang's all here, everybody. We got Ozzy. Let's do it, let's do it. And we got the parade people. That's entertainment at World Expo 88.
The time had come to let go. Soon the familiar sweep of light from the night companion Sky Needle would be stilled. The skies would burst into fire for the last time.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please once again put your hands together for our fearless leader. We love him, Sir Lou Edwards.
Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Premier, my Lord Mayor, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. As the Prime Minister indicated, the carnival is now over. Expo 88 has come to a close.
There will be other expos, perhaps bigger and more elaborate, but there will never be another World Expo 88. It belongs to us in a special way. The spirit lives in our hearts and minds. Expo Magic is ours forever.
We hope you've enjoyed this program, brought to you by Crown Studios, makers of commercials, corporate programs, and television events.